God save the Queen! No, I'm not talking about me, Sparks. I'm talking about the ultra prestigious and revolutionary 1998 Range Rover P38. I guess it's God save the King now. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. Please don't forget to like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit that bell icon whenever I drop a new video. The more you interact, the less depression I have, so please help me out. Thank you. Some millennial humor for you. Today I have a very special treat. I'm starting an OnlyFans page. Just kidding. It's the 1998 Range Rover P38. Where'd I get this rare beauty? Well, funny enough, my own brother. Yes, we come from a long line of car nuts in this family, from my dad and his Porsches to my mom and her Mercedes/Escalades. She prefers an Escalade. My brother and I both inherited the gene for sure. For years and years, my brother was pining after any kind of square body Range Rover and always joked about how he wanted one, but only wanted to pull the cord if it was in the condition that he was looking for. Lo and behold, he found it. The lengths I had to beg him to make this video were phenomenal.
Maybe I should just sweep. I'll sweep the floor.
And I mean rightfully so, because for a 24-year-old car, this thing is actually in really, really good condition. You can see it in the original paint job. The clear coat is in great condition. You can see it in how clean the carpeting is from the trunk all the way down to the floorboards. It's even in how pristine the buttons are on the dashboard and how near perfect condition the seats are right down to the piping. Now, of course, there are some imperfections here and there, like the radio did need to be replaced and one of the side mirrors casing is a bit cracked, but I think by and large, this thing is in really, really great condition for a 1998. I am unfortunately unable to disclose how much my brother paid for it because unlike me, he is a huge stickler for his privacy, but what I can tell you is that it's between $7,000 and $70,000. So, you do the math. Introduced 24 years after the Range Rover Classic, the P38 debuted in September 1994, and next to the G-Wagon was the pinnacle of luxury SUVs at the time. Internally, the car's code for it was P38. It's named that way, funny enough, because the project name was Pegasus, and 38 is the block number where the team that designed it was stationed. The 1998 Range Rover was available in two V8 engines. This one has the 4.0-liter V8 making 188 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque tied to a GM 4-speed automatic transmission with full-time all-wheel drive. It also has an adaptive air suspension that's really impressive for the time. At 55 miles an hour, it lowers itself automatically for highway speeds, and at 35 miles an hour or under, it will raise itself automatically. When left undriven for an extended period of time, it will actually lower itself to the lowest possible position. Pretty neat for a 98. Honestly speaking, the design of the Range Rover has completely stood the test of time. This thing, while classic, at this point could still stack up to some modern SUVs of today. Sure, it might not have like swooping dramatic lines or LED anything of that nature, but compared to say the Jeep Grand Wagoneer and the Toyota 4Runner of today, I would honestly pick this every time.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
So let's talk unreliability, because I know somebody, if not everybody, is going to have one comment or another to say about how much this thing's gonna stay in the shop more than it's gonna be on the road. My TikTok blew up over my brother's Range Rover, and just about every single comment was how unreliable this thing is. Okay then, let's talk about it. Yes, there are probably a myriad of horror stories that you can tell me down in the comments, and I will undoubtedly read them and I will reply to them as best that I can. You know, stories about the coolant reservoirs exploding, security systems rendering engines completely unable to be turned over, and the like. From experience, when he got it, the engine had all of its regular driveline and services done to it, and nothing actually needed to be like fixed on it. He's had it for about a year now, and the only issues he's really had with it is the air conditioner crapping out. I think personally it's because it came down from Ohio to North Carolina's heat, and if not for that reasoning, then maybe because it's nearly 30 years old. I mean, I'm 31 years old and I've already had several breakdowns. Today, in fact.
Oh, bro.
Basically, this specific Range Rover had one previous owner and she took it to be serviced regularly and nothing ever actually broke down on it according to the service records. Which goes to show you that people need to take care of your cars and that rumors are a cancer on society. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. Turn your head and cough, please.
You've had the same hairdo for 20 years, and you're basically...
Yeah, I mean, not to be redundant, but this is in really amazing condition for a 1998. And not only in just like the materials and the way that everything has been maintained, but also in just the technology for the time. I mean, the air suspension, albeit might not be on like a screen or anything, you know, it's still active, right? I mean, it's active whenever it needs to be. It even has a dual zone automatic climate control system. Now, I know that those things were prevalent in like Mercedes and stuff, but I think for the time, that's really impressive. The leather piping and the seats in general, they're really, really pretty. It's got a HomeLink garage door opener. It's got biometric sensors for the security system. It might not have automatic headlamps, but you know, it does have an automatic dimmer for the rear view mirror, and it has a Harman Kardon sound system. Plus, this one doesn't have it, but it did used to come with the GPS back in the day, which, albeit probably not the best GPS because it was still pretty new at the time, but it was still a GPS and it was still pretty brand new, and that was some pretty insane technology back then. You know, this thing's got wood grain and leather and plastic. I mean, it's not like the highest quality, but you know. All right, let's see how this thing fares on the road. That, of course, is the seatbelt warning signal as well as the key left in ignition signal. So, albeit some things might have been pretty futuristic for the time, that still probably needed to be worked on, just a little. So I have been instructed by the owner of this vehicle to not floor it, and I don't think I would even want to if I could, because this thing, although is kept in good condition, still feels like a bit of a relic. Not a relic, I just don't want to it up, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it, I don't want to have to owe my brother any money, I'll just say that. You know what this does kind of feel like though off the bat, is that it's very smooth. I can see why this is a luxury icon, because even something of this age is still really smooth on the road. I mean, yeah, it's probably one of the most ultimate off-roading machines they've ever made, but like next to like the G-Wagon, but still this thing is, yeah, I almost feel like I'm driving a Mercedes. Like, you know how like when you drive a Mercedes, it like glides up to speed? Like this does the exact same thing. It just glides up to speed and you can barely feel it. And it doesn't even really feel like you're on the road. It just kind of feels like you're on a cloud. The other funny thing is that like he never ever lets me drive this, ever. This is my first time. He's on this for a year and I am just now able to drive this thing because I begged him to make a video about it.
I'll do whatever it takes.
And now he's letting me, and thank you, I appreciate it. I love it. I mean, really, what am I gonna say about this thing? I can't talk about like how it stacks up to other cars. It's in a league of its own right now. I mean, it's just so nice. There's something about classic cars like this that just really solidifies why I'm an automotive enthusiast. All right, Sparks, well, that's all I've got for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon when I drop a new video every single week, every single Friday, every single whenever I can, because I'm trying. Any what's it? Too much caffeine. Huge shout out to my little brother for letting me borrow his extremely gorgeous, extremely iconic 1998 Range Rover P38. If it wasn't for him, I honestly wouldn't know much about these older ones. I mean, I know a lot about the other ones, but for this one, I was a little, I'll be honest, I didn't really know much about these, but I have grown to love these exponentially. They are just they're timeless. You know, my dad is part of a Porsche club, and we went to the Porsche Oktoberfest, and he put this in the non-Porsche category, and he won. This thing is so sought after that people voted for this, you know, to win the best non-Porsche. It rightfully so. I mean, it's in great condition. It's mechanically not failing. Will he ever take this thing off-road? No. Is he like every other Range Rover owner that there is? Yes. Because what Range Rover owner do you know that takes it off-road other than like maybe like the Top Gear, like when Top Gear was a thing, like they took those off-road because they were the camera crew. But thanks again for watching today's video, and I'll be back next week with a surprise because I may or may not have bought something myself that's like a bit of a classic. So see you next week, Sparks. I don't know why my voice is this high pitch. Okay, bye. Maybe because these haven't dropped yet. Bye. Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. If you want more Sparkplug TV content, click right here. Right here. You got two options. Choose one or both.